Hey everyone, it's Pam. I know I haven't made a video in quite a long time, but yeah, I'm back and hopefully I'll be uploading a little bit more frequently now. And for today's video, I want to talk about living abroad, especially when I lived in Taiwan. So these are just some of the questions that are frequently asked by like family members or friends, and hopefully they're helpful to someone out there who's thinking about like going to Taiwan or who wants to travel in general. So yeah, let's get started. So to give you some background, I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and I never lived away from home. The first time I moved away from home was actually when I moved to Taiwan. So I got married and then I moved to Taiwan. So that was the first time ever that I lived away from home. Also, I was in Taiwan for 2 years. I was in the capital, Taipei. Yeah, that's just some background. So first, I'm going to talk about like culture shock. People ask like, oh, did you have culture shock and how was it like? What was it like? And the answer is yes, I did have culture shock. I mean, I think most people have culture shock when you go to a different country, especially when you're going to different continents. So I absolutely had culture shock. For me personally, this is my experience. It started off really with like fascination. I was really like just fascinated by Taiwan. One of my minors was Asian Pacific Studies, so I had been wanting to visit Asia for a very, very long time. So I was completely like fascinated at first, and then after that, you move through certain stages. So one of the other stages I had was like confusion, frustration, then kind of like a bit of sadness, and then finally like acceptance. And just so you know, I'm looking at some notes that I wrote down. So I was a bit sad a little bit later on, but that's because, like I said, I had never lived away from my parents. I missed my siblings. I missed my mom, my dad. I missed my surroundings, but luckily for me, I had Kenny, who's my husband, so he was a great support system. So he was my support system and my family outside of, California. So yeah, and then finally, I was at the stage of like acceptance. I was really happy again, and that was probably like maybe 6 months that were kind of like 3 to 4 months were really like more tough, and the second year was like so much more smoother. But yeah, that was the culture shock on my end, and just certain things are shocking. For example, habits are different, customs are different, space is different. I think, for instance, in America, space is very valued and it's very personal, but really when you go to Asian countries, space is kind of like interpersonal, right? So maybe you feel like people are on top of you, but it's just part of the culture. So that's one of the things that is very different. And now I'll hit on some more like differences that people always ask, oh, like what are some huge differences? Like I said, space is a different thing. Also, I lived in Taipei, so sometimes I guess the apartments can be a bit smaller. But I didn't really have an issue with that. Our apartment was actually pretty good in terms of size. The kitchens are much smaller. They don't have ovens. Another big difference is like climate. In Southern California, we have like pretty good climate year round, and in Taipei it was raining, it seems like almost every other day, and it's very, very, very humid. It's very hot, except for maybe like 2 months of the year. The difference is just like mannerisms, language, of course, food is different. Another common question is, was it cheap? Did you save? So was it cheap? Yes, it's cheaper, I think, relatively speaking, compared to the States. A lot of things are much cheaper clothing, except if you buy, from a company that's American. So if you go to Forever 21, if you go to H&M, if you go to like Timberland, it's going to be almost the same or a little bit more expensive. The rent is cheaper than compared to probably living in New York City or probably living in like downtown LA or Redondo Beach or something. But then again, it all depends on how new your building is, the amenities it has, you know, how many rooms it has, yeah, I mean, a lot of the buildings in Taiwan, they don't have like elevators, the old buildings. So we had an apartment on the 5th floor, and that was just like walking, but I didn't mind it. It was really nice. And you know, I think overall Taiwan is a saving culture. Your savings are going to be a reflection of your spending habits. So that's just going to vary from person to person. Is it safe? Yes, Taiwan is very, very, very safe. It's such a peace of mind knowing that you can go to like a country and it be safe, and it's so much more safer than the US, I think. And I think Taiwanese are very friendly. It's kind of their pastime. They're known to be very friendly people. And I'm just going to touch on my favorite things about Taiwan, or like the best things that I liked about Taiwan. First of all, transportation. Taipei is very, very convenient. That's one of the things about living in a city. It's very convenient. It's very well connected. The subway system is amazing. They also have U-Bike, which is basically like a bike rental. The healthcare is exceptional. It is so good. Taiwan has an amazing healthcare system. So if you got sick, you can go to the doctor, x-rays, whatever it may be. You know, and you would probably just pay anywhere from probably $5 to $6 in person once you take your healthcare insurance, and maybe sometimes you would have to pay for the prescription or not. The dental, that was $5 American when I was there, 150 NTD, and that would cover everything: root canals, cavities, fillings, cleansing of the teeth or cleaning of the teeth. It wouldn't cover braces, however, because that's seen as cosmetic. What I liked about Taiwan was like the night culture, the night markets. I would like to go to the night markets and just try all the foods and explore, and then you can go shrimping, and it was a blast, really. Oh, they also have a lot of temples, you know, throughout the city, so that's nice to see. And they have a bullet train that connects you to the island, so that's really good. And people ask me, do you miss Taiwan? The answer is yes, I miss Taiwan. Actually, Kenny and I really didn't have an intention of leaving Taiwan so soon. We thought about staying like 5 years, but you know, the opportunity presented itself, and right now we're in China, and actually I really love China. But yeah, I do miss Taiwan. I love Taiwan, but I'm very happy where I am right now. And yeah, maybe I'll do a video comparing, you know, Tianjin to Taipei, or, you know, something along those lines. I mean, just remember that your lifestyle is going to be a reflection of the attitude. So whatever you put into an experience, you're going to get out of it. If you approach something with like absolute negativity, and you don't even see like a silver lining, then your experience is going to be dreadful. But if you approach something with, you know, curiosity and really finding little things here and there and being positive, then your experience overall is going to be a positive experience. And I hope that, you know, you're all open-minded to, you know, visit Taiwan one day, because it's really a wonderful country. And if there are any questions that I didn't answer, then, you know, just feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. And I'm thinking of maybe doing a video talking about my experience so far in China. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy it, and it was nice talking to you. Bye!